again. I wish all of you a very, very happy 2021. You, your friends, your family, all of you, wish you a very happy new year. For the past couple of years, we have been recounting what has happened in CSIR in the last 1 year, and it's a good occasion that we actually take upon ourselves some level of introspection and commit ourselves what we want to do in the next year on the occasion of New Year. So let me quickly go through what all things have happened in CSIR and what really would be our aspirations in the coming time. So first of all, CSIR this year has been rather unusual. That's a very under and very mild statement that I'm making. Many of us would like to forget in the coming years what happened in 2020. And most of us would like to remember what happened in 2020 forever. There's one big lesson that we have learned, all of us in our lives, what happened, the kind of crisis situation that we all of us go through. But even more importantly, how CSIR as a whole family stood up together in this particular era is something most remarkable in my own personal opinion. So I would like to first place on record a deep sense of gratitude to the entire CSIR family for having risen together and having fought this battle together. And the battle is continuing. It is natural that many of our colleagues would get recognized for their efforts, what they have been doing over the years, in the past several years. And I'm just going to mention some of them. It's impossible to mention all of them. So if anybody's name is left out, that's my mistake. But some of them I would like to mention here particularly. So one of the most showpiece recognition in the country in the S&T domain is the Infosys Prize. I'm very pleased to mention that the Infosys Prize of 2020 went to Dr. Rajan Shankaranarayanan of CSIR CCMB Hyderabad. And hearty congratulations to Shankaranarayanan for this. Another very showpiece prize that all across society they recognize as one of the highest in science and technology is of course the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize, which has its own place in society. And that went to this year one of our family members, Amol Arvindrao Kulkarni of CSIR NCL Pune. And congratulations to Amol for this. There are many people who received CSIR Young Scientist Award. Congratulations to them. We have a number of academies in the country, and I will just mention about the Indian National Science Academy, New Delhi. This one of the showpiece academies, and a number of people from CSIR actually got elected to this academy. And it's a great thing for CSIR that so many people are getting elected now and getting recognized. And to name, Suvindranath Bhattacharya, who is a senior principal scientist at IICB Calcutta, Saman Habib, senior principal scientist in CDRI Lucknow, Manjula Reddy, scientist in CCMB Hyderabad, Narahari Shastri, director of NIST Jorat, and Pradyumna Kumar Singh of NBRI Lucknow. All of them have been elected as fellows of Indian National Science Academy, and congratulations to all of them. INSA also recognizes young people below the age of 35 for their contributions with the INSA Young Scientist Award, and that once again is a very showpiece award. And that went to 3 people this year in the CSIR family. Once again, a great achievement. In the entire science and technology diaspora, 3 of them have received from CSIR itself. Debojyoti Chakravarti of CSIR IGIB New Delhi, Kamalika Mukherjee of IICB Calcutta, and Suraj Soman of NIST Thiruvananthapuram. The 3 of them got INSA Young Scientist Award.
Debojyoti also won CSIR Young Scientist.
Correct. Similar to INSA Young Scientist, there is also Indian National Academy of Engineering. That also is a very showpiece academy. And 3 people from CSIR received Young Scientist Award in 2020. Prasanjit Das of CMERI Durgapur, Pooja Devi of CSIO Chandigarh, and M. Satish, CLRI Chennai. All of them received the Young Engineer Award of INA. The congratulations to them as well. What is heartening to see is also, of course, the gender balance amongst all our recognized people, and that we have committed that we are going to actually take proactive steps for getting even better gender balance in future. Now, there are many things that have happened in 2020 that we should actually sit back and reflect upon some of them and see what we have learned from all these things. Many of us actually forgot that we were hit with another crisis situation, that is a natural disaster, what we call, in form of cyclone Amphan. And all of you recall that in the previous year, we were hit with cyclone Fani. And at the cyclone Fani, once again, CSIR had shown the resilience of SNT, what it can do. And at that time, our institute, CSMCRI Bhavnagar, had sent a bus there to purify water for people. And the bus went from villages to villages, purifying water and supplying potable water to different people. Something similar happened even this year when Cyclone Amphan hit us. And the experience that we had learned from Cyclone Fani was used very well by our institute in Bhubaneswar, IMMT, and they sent a lot of volunteer force to Calcutta to help people in Calcutta to reduce their burden in the aftermath of Cyclone Amphan. Similarly, our two institutes, IHBT Palampur and CFTRI Mysore, sent a large number of food packets for the people who are affected. And that's the spirit that CSIR has always showed. Even in Cyclone Fani time, we had shown that we actually stand on ground with people in the country whenever they are hit by a situation such as this. But there are many disasters actually that took place last year, and in each of them, CSIR had a role in the mitigation of that. I will come to COVID a little later, but just to mention three very quickly. One was, of course, the Vizag gas leak, and it was important to establish what the gas leak was due to, and it would be expected that anyone in the country would turn to CSIR for that particular purpose. Our teams from IIP Dehradun, in fact, the director of IIP Dehradun himself, IICT Hyderabad, and NIRI Nagpur, the team overnight reached Vizag to assess what gas was leaking. They immediately could identify it was styrene, and they found out a solution how the damage can be minimized. Similarly, when the fire broke out in Assam in the oil wells, the first institute that was contacted was NIST Jorat for the mitigation of that. The oil took quite a while, the oil fire took quite a while for extinguishing, but nonetheless, our teams were on ground to help in mitigating that. And recently, all of you know that in Andhra Pradesh, there was some mysterious cause of illnesses that people were having. And obviously, once again, government would turn to CSIR to find out what is the cause of that particular illness. And our people went there and did a fantastic job in that as well. And that's the spirit that CSIR has been working for the society over the years. And we must keep up that spirit once again in this year. The two things that have happened after a long time in CSIR. One is, of course, the CSIR society meeting that is chaired by Honorable Prime Minister himself that took place on 14th February this year. And CSIR society has some extraordinary people in the society to guide us. The people like the chairman of Tata Sons, the people like the chairman of Bharat Forge, the people like the chairperson of Intel India. There are academicians who are there, and all of them actually, with their goodwill, we march ahead through our society. The Prime Minister's office also requested CSIR to introspect upon ourselves and see if we can reorient for the future, what we can do ourselves so that we become even more valuable to society for the future. But one of the most pleasing things that has happened, in my personal opinion, this year, as I said, many things are happening after a long time, but I'm very pleased to inform all of you that one thing that has spread a lot of positiveness in CSIR is the cadre review. Remember last year, 1st January, I had announced on this particular platform that we would be doing cadre review in this year. And thanks to all the people involved in the cadre review system, the cadre review finally took place. Just to remind ourselves, the last cadre review for Group B positions took place in 1994. And for Group A positions, it was 1989 and 1987. So after about a gap of 25-30 years, CSIR has carried cadre review. And there are many people who have worked very hard for this over the years. I would especially like to mention that the present cadre review started in 2014, and we should place on record thanks on all the people who are involved in this. Once again, I might miss my name, miss some names, and I would like to apologize those people in advance. But I would like to mention a few names here. Our former Joint Secretary, Dr. Anupama, our former Financial Advisor, Sumita Sarkar, and former Senior Deputy Secretary, Manuel Thomas, actually started working from 2014 towards implementing cadre review. And it's their initiation. Also, Vinod Kumar, who is now COA in IGIB, also worked very hard on the cadre review system. The present officers in the headquarters who worked on the cadre review were Shri BK Singh, Senior DS, Sanjay Kumar DS, Shri Umesh Kumar US, Mr. Siddharth Day US, Santosh Kumar Section Officer, and all the dealing assistants in the section. The people of the committee which oversaw the cadre review involved Dr. Sanjay Kumar, who was the chairman of that, Director IHBT, Dr. Pancharia, Director of Siri Pilani, Dr. Avnish Kumar Srivastava, Director Ampri Bhopal, Mr. Vaidishwaran, Joint Secretary Administration, Mr. Chetan Prakash Jain, Financial Advisor, Vishwajani Satigeri, Head of TKDL, and Shri Bhoi, who is the Chief Scientist in HRDG. Also, the team involved in DPC that was carried out from the headquarters involved Sanjay Kumar, Umesh Kumar, Sushant Kumar, Ellen Pandey, Veena Kajla, Asit Wilson, the entire IT team, which ensured smooth and seamless video conferencing facility. This could not have been done in person, but IT people actually stood up and made sure that everything could be done in the cyberspace. All the canteen staff, despite COVID, provided refreshment and lunch and dinner over 10 days. The entire exercise went over 10 days. And all the lab authorities who made arrangements for their candidates to attend in video. So they're the kind of people who have worked very hard behind the scenes, and we would all place on record our deep appreciation for all these people who have worked hard and ensured that cadre review finally takes place. We are now committed to carry out cadre review in a periodically, at least once in 5 years. We must have cadre review in future. So thank you all of you once again, and all these people deserve a big clap for.
I think DG played the pivotal role.
No, I did not do anything. I did not do anything at all. So I started the talk by mentioning about COVID, and as I said, many of us would like to forget 2020. Most of us would like to remember 2020 for a long time to come. And this was one occasion in which CSIR could grab an opportunity to demonstrate its prowess in trying to mitigate COVID. This was one opportunity. CSIR could show to the world, CSIR could show to the nation that 75 years of its history has not been for anything else. The 75 years of history of CSIR is essentially for generating that kind of infrastructure, that kind of intellectual power, and that kind of commitment for society that we could show for once together. And how well CSIR has done is amazing. All of you would have seen that CSIR has received praise from all corners, all sections. Not only society, not only industrial leaders, not only leaders who are policymakers, but also at the highest office in the country, CSIR has been receiving praise for what CSIR has done in COVID-19 mitigation. And that is because we all are worked together. We all have worked together. And I have mentioned in the past as well, and I would like to mention here, the credit goes to CSIR as a whole. It does not go to a single individual. It does not go to a single laboratory. It does not go to a single scientist. It does not go to a single group. It goes to the entire organization that it has stood up together and worked hard on COVID-19 mitigation. Just mention a few achievements during COVID-19. All of you would have heard of the Feluda diagnostic kit. It's already in the market. Also, it's already on the GEM portal. You know, the government procurement is through GEM portal, and Feluda kit is now available on GEM portal. And that's a fantastic achievement. Something that CSIR had been working on CRISPR-Cas system, but had to simply reorient itself so that it could be converted into a diagnostic kit. Similarly, a method devised by our colleagues in CCMB Hyderabad. So Feluda was devised by IGIB Delhi, team in IGIB Delhi. The dry swab method devised by very young students in CCMB Hyderabad is very noteworthy. It's something very fantastic, and that shows the spirit of young India. How these people actually stood up and showed that the standard RT-PCR by tweaking a protocol can be made 3 times more efficient at half the cost. It's something really fantastic. And congratulations to students of CCMB. This also has now received approval from ICMR and it's already being used in many different places. The Swasthvayu BiPAP ventilator generated by NAL or the makeshift hospitals made by CBRI Roorkee and ACRC Chennai are also very noteworthy. Similarly, the app Arogyapath, developed by a large number of people, led by the director of IIP Dehradun, which is based on the Kisan Sabha app that has been made in CRRI Delhi. So the Central Road Research Institute had made this Kisan Sabha app that is available in many different languages now, local languages, and I believe it's popular in many corners of the country, especially places like Odisha. And it connects farmers on one side and the transporters on the other, so that there is no need for a middleman to come in. Farmers can directly contact the transporters and take their produce to mandis or to the markets for selling them. It has seen now more than 60,000 downloads across the country. This is a very, very noteworthy thing that has happened. As far as the testing that happened in COVID-19 diagnostics, as all of us know that when COVID-19 came upon us, at that time, not many people in the country knew how to do RT-PCR. But of course, our labs knew how to do RT-PCR, and therefore it was natural that we would be contacted first. So we became one of the first laboratories in the country to start doing RT-PCR. In fact, CCMB and IGIB and all started straight away for doing RT-PCR from day one. And they also helped generating the requisite infrastructure. They help in generating requisite training to the manpower so that it can be populated very quickly in many different locations. That has resulted today now, more than 13 CSIR labs are involved in testing even today, and total number of samples that have been tested in CSIR across is more than 6.5 lakhs, and that's a large number. But more than the testing is also important surveillance. And all those of you who are reading newspapers or watching TV these days are kind of concerned about the new UK strain that is going on. But once again, our labs have been sequencing from beginning. From day one, our labs have been sequencing different viral isolates. And total number of viral isolates sequenced in CSIR is more than 3,500 till date. And therefore, it was natural that when the UK variant comes in, our labs would also start sequencing the UK variant and survey or have a surveillance mechanism in place so that we can interface with government very quickly and tell them where we are finding this UK variant. My appeal only to all of you is that all those who are involved in sequencing, not to give this information to anyone else, what we are doing in the lab, because it's an extremely sensitive information. It is potentially panic causing information in society, and therefore it is important that we keep the information about the UK variant to ourselves. Whenever we are finding positive cases in the labs, we must keep that information to ourselves, and we must interface with the government, especially in this case, the NCDC Delhi, to tell them that we have found something positive, and not tell our journalist friends, our family or friends, and so on and so forth. The large number of clinical trials that CSI has started. Some of the most noteworthy were the Sepsivac that we started, or the ACQH, or the plasma therapy that ISCB Calcutta started, or the phase 3 clinical trial of Umifinovir. And more than that, Favipiravir trial was conducted by someone else, but we also produced, the IICT Hyderabad also produced Favipiravir and transferred the technology to Cipla, and is being sold in the market as Ciplenza with an IICT logo on it. Similarly, we also started clinical trials on many Ayush drugs, and that clinical trial should hopefully get over in something like March. And whether they have effect or not would be evident then, and we do hope if they have an effect, that would be one of the first trials conducted from modern science perspective, from the knowledge that we have derived from our traditions. So this is all something very fantastic. Similarly, CSIR has also taken up the serological prevalence study. There is a CSIR cohort which is happening, and they are taking serum from everyone every 3 months. And IGIB is leading this particular project with help from many different CSIR laboratories, in fact, help from all CSIR laboratories. And this is perceived to be a long-term longitudinal observational project in which we'll keep monitoring the health of all CSR employees through this particular surveillance mechanism, even in post-COVID era. We also undertook sewage surveillance. Many of you are aware that sewage surveillance also tells you how the virus is spreading across different places. In fact, some people have gone on record in the West showing that sewage surveillance actually gives an early indication of how the virus is spreading. And our 3 labs, NIRI Nagpur, IICT Hyderabad, and CCB Hyderabad together are doing sewage surveillance in many different cities in the country as we speak right now. Just as we do sewage surveillance, even air is important. Air surveillance essentially to show that how far the virus spreads, in which areas the virus spreads more, and so on and so forth, has been undertaken by IMTech Chandigarh and CCMB Hyderabad, and they're very actively doing this particular work. It has given some very interesting insights about how the virus spreads and in which areas virus spreads more. For example, in closed areas, in ICUs, if there are more than 4 or 5 patients, or in a room, if there are 2 or 3 people who are infected and they're talking or coughing or something like that, in which case the virus spreads actually more. Virus does not spread much in open spaces. That's a very important finding for that. But having understood how the virus spreads, we also have a duty to see that how can stop the spread. And for that, our 2 labs, CBRI Roorkee and CSIO Chandigarh, have come up with a design so that AHUs in all the offices and cinema halls and malls and all can be fitted with purifiers, air purifiers, so that the air that circulates in the room is not infected or it's virus free. And it's a fantastic innovation. And we are hoping that this would be actually implemented very soon. All of us are aware that school board exams now have been announced, and we do hope that devices such as this that have been now they have been implemented would be useful in purifying the air in many of those aspects. There's also humanized antibodies program that has been funded under our Nimitli program, our Nimitli project, that has been funded to Bharat Biotech International in Hyderabad and NCCS Pune and IIT Indore, and we do hope that also gives some good results. CSR has also taken up the API mission for COVID-19. A number of APIs or the pharmaceutical ingredients or the active pharmaceutical ingredients would be made by multiple labs, IICT Hyderabad, NCL Pune, CDRI Lucknow, NIST Trivandrum, and so on and so forth. One of the things that has helped in the entire COVID era, and I have been very fond of telling this, that CSR strategy in dealing with COVID has worked for many different reasons. I have already listed that we all work together and everyone, students, project staff, technical staff, our common cadre officers, scientists, everyone actually has stood up together and worked as a family, and that's the major reason. But the other reasons are also very early in our strategy we had decided that we are going to work very closely with private industry. We are very aware that innovations that we do are usually restricted to our labs and they only show proof of principle. But if we have to take these innovations to society, we need partners who can scale up at that particular level. And then we gave a call to private industry, a general call to private industry in March, in late March. I personally wrote to many industry leaders, and all industry leaders that we wrote to, they responded positively. And many of them, in fact, came forward to partner with us in taking our innovations forward. And therefore, you see many different things that are actually happening or have gone to the society is because of our partnership with industry in this particular case. We have made sure that we are fully inclusive. We have not done anything which is exclusive with any industrial partners. And anytime any industry has come forward saying that they would like to do something with CSIR, we have not denied that opportunity to anyone. And that's the way to go, that with inclusive involvement of different stakeholders in society, we are able to show that we can actually take our innovations to the market in a very large scale. The second important aspect that we had decided in March was also that any technology that we develop, the components to make the technology must be available in India. We cannot depend upon imports for any of these components. And many of you are aware that sometimes in April or May, there's a lot of talk about many different kinds of ventilators that were made. But many of these ventilators finally could not see the light of the day. That was because the components there were being imported from other agencies. But CSR had taken a conscious decision in last week of March that when we work, we'll make sure that every component is available in India. And because of that, the success that we see today of CSR technologies being implemented is also partially due to that. So a combination of all our hard work, our resilience that we have demonstrated, and our partnership with different stakeholders, whether it be ministries, industries, and all, and the fact that we are going to work with components only made in India has actually led to the success of our thing. And that's a good lesson to learn for future. Let me now come to some of the new programs that we would like to launch, or we have already launched, but we are seeing completion of some of these in the coming time. There are many things that we are actually starting up now, and we want to see that the thing that we are starting now would bring value to India and to humanity in general in the coming 20, 30, 50 years. One of them, of course, is the Center for Next Generation Energy Storage Facility for Research and Development and Fabrication of Lithium-ion Batteries. Sikri Karaikudi and Simfer Dhanbad together have started this project in Chennai, and we do hope that these batteries would be available very soon. This facility will be first in India to demonstrate lithium battery fabrication up to 100 megawatt capacity. Just to remind you, India today imports about 10 million lithium-ion batteries from China, South Korea, Japan, and so on and so forth. Once we are able to show at a pilot scale that what we are going to show in Chennai, hopefully India will be completely Atmanirbhar from there on with our partnership with industry once again. We have just begun a mission on coal syngas to methanol in Dhanbad, Simfer Dhanbad. The process entails coal gasification and syngas cleanup, conditioning, and conversion to methanol. And this is our commitment to Mother Nature. We want to reduce the carbon footprint in nature, and we want to reduce our dependence on the carbon sources. And one way we can do is actually having methanol fuel instead of using the natural other fuels, which is considered to be cleaner than the fuel that we use today. But another commitment to reduce burden on Mother Nature is the initiation of Center of Excellence, which we hope will take off this year on carbon capture, utilization, and sequestration. And as soon as we announced that CSIR is intended to start a Center of Excellence in this, we got many interest from industries, from PSUs to work with us. What we are hoping is that the Center of Excellence will start functioning very soon in Niri, Nagpur, and will bring value to many of these industries that we are doing. One of the major achievements of last year is the demonstration of a car which runs on fuel cell. We know that the fuel cells or hydrogen is completely green. We are not using any natural resources for these fuel cells. And CSIR had started under our very flagship Nimitli program. Our labs, NCL Pune, Sikri Karaikudi, NPL, and CTCRI had initiated this program some years ago in partnership with three major industries, that is Reliance, KPIT, and Thermax. And they actually wanted to start demonstrating the use of fuel cells. And that the first car in the history of India to run on fuel cell was demonstrated a couple of months ago in Pune. And we are very proud of that. And we would like to take this program even further in the coming time. Many of you have seen that Government of India is very keen to engage our overseas diaspora in the activities that happens here. So Indian diaspora, which is settled overseas, we would like to involve them in many of the things that we are actually doing in the country. And in that particular objective, the Honorable Prime Minister had suggested to DRDO to organize a 1 month long meeting with all the diaspora on many different aspects of science and technology. And that meeting was highly successful. Many people participated in that. Many CSR labs participated in that. But as an outcome of that, responsibility was given to CSIR to create a portal of all the Indian diaspora which lives overseas. And CSIR has created a portal called Prabhas, PRABHASS. And this was launched formally by the Principal Scientific Advisor to Government of India and Member Science Niti Aayog. and our ISTAT division, international division, has created this portal. And I would like to request all our friends here to spread the word so that as many people can participate in the Prabhas portal should be as possible to do that. As we move forward, it is important to remember, I have made this point earlier, that CSIR as a brand is what we are trying to create for a long time to come. And creation of a brand is an extremely challenging and extremely difficult thing. As you all know, there are multiple brands that we see around us and have been built through hard work of different people over large number of years. We see in India, for example, the Tata brand. The entire society respects Tata brand because they have worked hard and they follow particular kind of ethics in their code of conduct. We know that there are many brands. For example, IITs are a brand in India. If you think of technical education, everyone thinks of IIT as a brand. If you look overseas, there are many different brands. Microsoft is a brand. Harvard University is a brand. Oxford is a brand. And these are all the brands that people actually look forward to a particular kind of an activity. And it's our aspiration that CSIR must be that kind of a brand, not only in India, but also globally. So CSIR is now trying to build that particular brand image. But building up a brand image is much easier said than done. And we all must follow particular code of conduct for this particular reason. And multiple code of conduct documents have been created recently. They're also available for a long time. For example, our code of conduct in terms of dealing with financial matters is very important to follow. We must ensure that we or any of our colleagues is not involved in any kind of financial irregularities. And if we think that somebody is involved in financial irregularity, that must be brought to attention of all of us. Our conduct, how we conduct ourselves around us, is also another important thing that we should remember. Similarly, the scientific ethics also is another part of the conduct for CSI laboratories. And a scientific ethics document has been ready, that has been circulated amongst all of you. I would request all the scientists, students, and technical staff to make sure that you have read this particular document and we abide by every word mentioned in that particular document. Only if we are able to do all of this together, then only we'll be able to bring that particular brand. We have a common vision that we want to bring science and technology benefits to the society. That's the vision of CSIR. And to build a brand for that, we want a lot of people to work with us, all the stakeholders to work with us. And to do that, they will come to us only if we have a good brand image. And that brand image can only be created by following that particular code of ethics together. One of the highlights of the years, as we are drawing close to the end of the year, was the successful completion of India International Science Festival. Many of you participated in the ISF 2020. It was inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister on the 22nd December. And it was the curtain down was the chief guest on that day was the Honorable Vice President of India. And in between, a large number of dignitaries graced the occasion. And that also shows how ISF has grown from year to year. And CSIR has played multiple roles in the success of ISF over the years. But this year, the responsibility of conducting ISF was given to CSIR. And what a glorious way that CSIR conducted that, despite the challenging times. And well, I would like to place on record heartfelt thanks to all the people who are involved in the conduct of ISF 2020. It was, of course, piloted by CSIR and NISTADS, but they were ably helped by many people across CSIR. So I'd like to thank all of them for making the ISF event successful this year. ISF also created 5 different Guinness Book of World Records this year. That was a very proud moment for all of us. Now, some of you had a chance recently to attend on the web an event that was graced by Honorable Vice President of CSIR and the Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Harshvardhan. And that event was actually the inauguration of the phytoroid plant or sewage treatment plant at NCL Pune. And at that time, Dr. Harshvardhan ji, he appealed to all of us that CSIR should come up with a plan of making all our campuses eco-friendly. And we have given the responsibility to NIRI to make sure that all the CSIR campuses are eco-friendly. And we must therefore work together to see that we can show that our campuses are green campuses. And then we can take it to further other campuses like IITs, NITs, and so on and so forth, or even PSUs, or army, navy, and so on and so forth, to show that indeed we can live in the world which is much better, much greener for the time to come. Honorable Dr. Harshvardhan ji also inaugurated a 70 years celebration in Simfar Dhanbad earlier this year, and he had opportunity to inaugurate a few buildings and center of excellences there, and I already mentioned one of them, coal to syngas, is what he actually did. I would like to also announce that 3 days from now, National Physical Laboratory would be entering the 75th year of its existence. It's a glorious 75 years journey of NPL Delhi, and Honorable Prime Minister will attend this particular ceremony on the foundation day on January 4th. Honorable Prime Minister is expected to address all of us on that day, and all of you are welcome to attend that particular event. I will be present in person along with Dr. Harshvardhan ji in NPL on that particular day. Honorable Prime Minister will address us through web on that particular day, and all of you are welcome to attend this particular event. COVID brought a lot of its challenges in front of all of us. One of the biggest challenges the COVID that we as a society and the entire globe suffered was a kind of economic crisis. India was not spared of this economic crisis. Many people felt hardships of the situation. We saw a massive migration of people from urban to rural areas. It was a very serious situation. And of course, the economy was in very poor shape. I was told that this kind of crisis is happening for the first time since 1857. After almost 200 odd years or 250 odd years, that we are actually seeing this kind of an event happening. It was natural that we CSR family also would be affected by this kind of a thing. There have been budget cuts across all organizations in the country, and we also have been affected very badly. But we have not allowed these budget cuts to hamper any of our programs, and it is largely thanks due to very healthy lab reserve fund situation that what we have in today. And one of the very remarkable things that what we did last year in the financial year 2019-2020 is that for the first time in our history, in CSIS history, our lab reserve crossed 1,000 crores, and it's a great achievement for CSIR. We had committed some years ago in Dehradun that we'll work towards self-reliance, and as a great step towards self-reliance, 1,000 crores for the first time has been exceeded in our earnings. And of course, lion's share of that, lion's credit of that goes to our CSR Simfar Institute Dhanbad. So Simfar, great congratulations to all of you, and we do look forward your continued contribution in the coming time for this. Just to mention that despite COVID, Simfar's lab reserve fund this year is healthier than 500 crores. Despite the situation, what is there, that they have been able to maintain the tempo and they have been able to do this. So congratulations to all of you. I will be there in person with all of you on the 18th January and look forward to meeting all of you and congratulate you in person on that day. Before I stop, I should also mention that achievements of CSIR would not have been possible without our strong connect with the stakeholders. We have had a very, very strong connect with all our stakeholders, which includes line ministries, which includes industry partners, it includes the state governments, it includes the PSUs. All of them are our stakeholders. But foremost is our society, through which we derive all our motivation and our inspiration. Our society continues to motivate us. Our society continues to inspire us for what we do, and we would like to bring benefit of science and technology to our society. That's the motto that we all like to work together. I would like to specifically mention our programs in the Northeast region, in the Union Territories of Jammu and Kashmir, in the Union Territory of Leh and Ladakh, the government of Uttar Pradesh, the government of Kerala, and the government of Himachal Pradesh, who actually came very proactively to us, seeking CSIS collaboration for bringing benefit to their own local geographical regions. And it's a very good thing. It's a very proud thing for CSIR that we will be working very closely with all of them so that we bring benefit to people in that particular geography. Our labs have responded very spontaneously to them. And I would like to express my gratitude to all our stakeholders for having faith in CSIR and for supporting CSIR through all of this. More than that, we thank the people of India, our society, for continuing to inspire us to work for them. And we commit that in the coming year and in the coming years, we will continue to work to bring very high-end SNT solutions to all our people, and we continue to innovate so that the society at the end benefits by it. Thank you all once again for joining me. Wish you all the very best for 2021. Let us move forward with the hope that what COVID had taught us, we will remember it for a very long time, and we'll continue our march by doing very high-end research and innovate for the benefit of society. Thank you all very much. Jai Hind.
Very well put. Very well put.
Very good.
Thank you.